Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, family. Excited about this opportunity to come to you one more again. And my God, do we have some treats for you tonight? Friendships are going to be rekindled and enlarged and expanded. God is doing a great thing, and it is winning season. Somebody go ahead and put that in the chat right now. Winning season. Can you just smell it all in the atmosphere? It's just marvelous what the Lord knows how to do when we get out of his way. We simply need to believe. I'm excited because I have two wonderful sisters. I should call them both Amies. They're my new Amies too. I can't let Tanya have all the fun. And we're excited because they're doing some amazing things that I think is going to be a blessing to a lot of people tonight. And we're just going to enjoy some conversation, but mixed in with that, we're going to have some conversation about some of these things that we need to know if we're going to be winners. Amen. And there's a spiritual ramification to that too. Now, y'all know I'm preaching that, right? So I always have to bring in and include the spiritual element to what it is that winning looks like. I'm not ashamed of that. I don't make any apologies for that. So what I want to do before we even begin tonight, I want to get everybody in place and in position. If you're coming in, hey, Lady K is there. Winning season. If y'all will make that public for me, ladies. I know y'all are in the private chat, but they can't see it in the private chat. If you'll put it in the public chat, if you're able to do that, I see Jesse coming in. Chandrella is coming in. Yes, absolutely. Winning season. Y'all know what time it is. So, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to lay down some spiritual foundation first because I believe that that's what it takes to build a house. I mean, if you got everything else, you got all the money in the world, that's great and that's fine, but you sure can't take it with you. And that's a recipe of losing you don't have a spiritual foundation. That's the way I slice it anyway. And so let's talk about some supporting strategies for your winning season. Now, I'm going to be brief, but I want y'all to lay this down on everything else that we bring into the equation tonight. Everything else that we bring to the conversation tonight is built upon these principles. First principle I want to share with you, I'm not going to be, teaching, extensively, but I want y'all to at least mark it down and do your study for yourself on First Chronicles chapter 12 and the meeting of this tribe of individuals, these groups, this sons of Issachar, if you will. I want y'all to study up on them because in the times of Israel, as the wars waged on, it was this group of chiefs that were able to give direction and were able to give guidance in the midst of some very turbulent times. And you need to be connected to some people who know what time it is, y'all. You need to be connected to some people who have seen some things, done some things, accomplished some things, and have some things. Because too many times we're reinventing the wheel, or trying to anyway. We're trying to get to where some people already got. And if they're connected in the way that they should remain connected, and if God has gifted them with wisdom and discernment, and if they've been through a few storms, talk back to me. That's why we always should respect our seniors and our elders and learn as much as we can. There was a time in the village, if you will, where we didn't, separate everybody. Everybody went off their own different way. Now we got everybody so disconnected and we're missing generations. There's too much gap, too much space. But the sons of Issachar, they brought that thing back together and they communicated the wisdom. They understood. They discerned the times. That's one of the things that you're going to have in this winning season. You're going to have some sons of Issachar, if you will, connected in your life. And y'all hear me talk about vision a lot. I'm not going to go through all of it, but just understand. Write down Proverbs 29:18. Now, when you're truly connected to some sons of Issachar, they're going to help you to clarify, identify, and walk in. I would even say you got to document it first, the vision of the Lord for your life. For some people, it's harder than others. But if you have some sons of Issachar in your life, they should be able, in connecting with you, to help you to identify, to clarify, and to document the Lord's vision in your life. Because if you don't have that, y'all, we go in circles. It says the people perish, but that perish is really talking about stagnation. It's talking about not coming into proximity of the promises of God. And you might live to be 100, 120 years old. It's a horrible thing to get up there and we still don't arrive to where God wanted us to be. It's not overnight, y'all. This ain't a microwave thing that you just get saved, get redeemed in the Lord, and now all of a sudden everything. No, it's a process. But my God, sometimes we're 40 years older, but not 40 years wiser. You want to have a vision for your life. You don't want to be going in circles. Now I'm giving you all this because I'm gonna give you some stuff tonight. I'm gonna give you some heavy stuff tonight that I want you to see and hear for yourself. You're gonna hear from some powerful women of God who I love, and I think you're gonna be very impressed with. In fact, I know you're gonna be very impressed with. And but I want you to make sure that you got this foundation. Now, Proverbs 24. I'm not gonna go through it a lot, but when you read the end of Proverbs 24, it's book of wisdom. Read from verse 30 and go all the way down to verse 34, and you'll get the clue that y'all we can't afford to be asleep on too many things. Now, I'm not talking about the nocturnal get your rest, whether it's 6 hours, 8 hours, whatever the doctor tell you to get your rest. Take your naps, whatever you need to do, but don't be sleep. I mean, even when you sleep, don't be sleep. If you understand what I'm saying, there are certain things that we cannot afford to be sleep on, and tonight I'm going to share that with you. I'm going to unpack some of those things with you, so that spiritual foundation for us. Hey, Miss Chrissy, good to see you. Thank you for chiming in. Elvira, thank you for chiming in. Carol Caspar, love you, darling. Thank you for chiming in. And then last but not least, y'all, we know the context of Hosea chapter 4, verse number 6. The prophet said that God's people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Now, that knowledge in particular talked about how they as priests, they were given stewardship for the word of God, and yet they neglected the thing that they were given, not only for the masses, but even for themselves. So that's the context of that. But underneath all of that, growing up, there used to be a saying, and you get a little old, well, not older, you get wiser, you begin to see holes in what they were saying. They used to say something like this, y'all remember, what you don't know won't hurt you. Could I help you with that? That's a lie. Some of the stuff you don't know don't know is hurting you the most. It's killing you. So our people, God's people, still today are being destroyed for lack of knowledge. What we don't know is hurting us, is killing us. It just takes a long time in some regards. So it's winter season, y'all, and I'm going to talk about some of these obstacles that we need to overcome. But before I do that, I want to bring to the front of the screen, hey, Coach D, love you, sis. Nayeli Jelly is in the house. Give mom and all of them my love. I want to bring these two powerhouse women of God. Oh, man, I'm so excited to be connected with such good people. Oh, my. Let me introduce them. I'll introduce them in the order that I met them, and then I'll have them to help us get acquainted with themselves, and then we'll go into the backdrop of some of the things that we'll be sharing on tonight. So Miss Gloria Ward is the first individual that I met through my cousin beloved, Kevin Watkins, and he connected us, and
Yes.
he got started in this travel club that we're all a part of, and she has been a godsend. She has been a gift, and she's tried to play the role, y'all, if you understand what I'm saying. Melvin Roscoe, it's good to see you. She's tried to play the role of the silent type, but I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it. I understand. I respect it, but I'm not buying it. So she play that role. And then one of the things she did, she just stuck. She just stayed in, even though things were not moving as swiftly as maybe she had originally intended or expected. I don't know. But one of the things that she did, she just hung in there. She stayed connected. She stayed in communication. And she got the education that if you're going to do anything, any endeavor, you got to get educated on what it is that you're doing. And in the doing of that, in the getting of an understanding, as the Bible says, and all you're getting, get one. She shared some things with another young lady named Miss Margaret. And my God, the half ain't been told of what's already been happening. So to each of you, my love from the great state of Texas. And just tell us a little bit of something about yourselves and how y'all are connected and what the excitement is for both of you. Who would like to go first?
Oh my. I guess I'll start first. Um, well, I was introduced to Trevorium through our Kevin Watkins.
Mm-hmm.
He had been actually telling me about Trevorium for quite a while. And I'm sure he thought I wasn't really listening, but I was. But I wasn't prepared at that time to um, go with Trevorium.
Mm-hmm.
Um, since I have retired from the school system, and this is how I met my dear friend Margaret,
Yeah.
we worked at the same school, and she has just been like a sister to me.
Wow.
And yeah, she's been great. And so Kevin introduced me to Trevorium. What he would do is whenever I would get in a car or with him or on a church van with him, he would be playing something concerning Trevorium. Yeah. And so I would listen. You know, I didn't have much to say.
Mm-hmm.
And then the day came when I retired from the school system.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I had did my manifest list before I retired. I
Mm-hmm.
don't call it a bucket list because, you know, God only knows when my time is
That's
over.
right. That's
So,
right.
yeah, he only knows. But I'm here
Mm-hmm.
and I'm manifesting what I desire to see in my life. So,
Yes.
at the top of that list was travel.
My Lord.
Yeah, at the top of that list was travel.
Mm-hmm.
And I had written down different destinations of where I want to go and, you know, places and people I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know how I was going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I remember my dear friend, I call him my favorite brother, Kevin,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and I was reminded that he had a tool for me to be able to travel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the time came where I was talking to one of the sisters at the church about my desire to travel. And she
Mm-hmm.
was saying, I desire to travel.
Mm-hmm.
And so we said, well, let's travel. And Kevin was telling us about this trip to Montego Bay, Jamaica.
Right.
And I said, oh, I want to go. It's
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's an island. It's a there's going to be a beach there. That was part of
Oh,
my manifest list. I
oh yeah.
wanted to be on beaches and just relax.
Yes.
So I hooked up with Kevin and Rosie,
Mm-hmm.
and we went to Montego Bay.
My Lord. My,
I had a wonderful time.
oh yes.
Oh my God. I when it came time to leave, I almost had tears in my eyes. I
I
didn't
felt
want
the same
to
way. I
I
felt
didn't
the same way. Yep.
I didn't want to leave. It was beautiful. And
Yes.
that was before I even became a member of Trevorium.
Okay.
Yes. So that trip convinced me that
Mm-hmm.
this is what I need to do. And
Mm-hmm.
so soon as I got off of that trip, Pastor Mel,
Mm-hmm.
I connected with you and said, I'm
Yeah.
ready.
You ready? I
I'm
said,
ready.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So I became a member of Trevorium,
Mm-hmm.
and right now I have booked and planned my trip to
Mm-hmm.
Puerto Vallarta in
Yeah.
March
Oh,
through
well,
Trevorium. Oh, I
Yeah.
am so excited.
I bet that's coming up.
Yeah, I'm so excited about it. So I'm going to I'm sticking with Trevorium. I'm going to travel, see my
Yeah.
travel vision fulfilled.
Yeah.
I'm going to invite friends and family. I want to share this opportunity with them. I've already shared it with family members, and they say they are interested. So I'm just reminding them they need to come on aboard. So
Uh-huh.
yes, and just sharing it with different people. So I think that Trevorium is great. It feels like a family.
It does.
It
It
does.
really is. It really is.
Yeah. I contacted Tanya
Mm-hmm.
because I remember her saying that she had went to Puerto Vallarta. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure if um she was going to respond because we
Mm-hmm.
don't actually know each other, but
Right.
I identified myself as a member of the family,
Mm-hmm.
and just asked her about her experience in Puerto Vallarta.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, she messaged me back, and she was very helpful to me. So I know what to look forward to in
Yeah.
Puerto Vallarta.
Yes.
And, you know, she feels like family. And
Absolutely.
there you go. There you go. The rest is history.
The rest is history. Now, how long have you been knowing Miss Margaret?
Oh my goodness. Woo. Okay, well, I was at Suffern Middle School for 26 years. I
Okay.
retired after 26 years of service.
Wow. Thank
And yeah. So it was during that time. I mean, we've known each other for years. I don't know exactly the number of years,
It's
but
probably about 17 years. I
yeah,
taught at the school at 17 years there.
my God.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
My
yeah.
God. So before we go to Miss Margaret, did you two ever think that you would be setting up the stage to travel together?
You know, I hadn't really thought that that was a possibility. I
Okay.
mean, Margaret and I are friends. She's like a sister to me. We,
Hmm.
talk and
Yeah.
communicate,
Yeah.
you know. But I don't think that we ever really discussed like traveling together.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, look at
But
the look.
we will be.
I know that's right. Well,
you
look at the Lord.
we will be.
Yes, yes, and yes. Well, Miss Margaret, tell us a little bit about yourself, and after that, I'm going to bring in some video footage that's going to really take the conversation into a place where
Get it?
those listening, they really need to pay attention. So if you're watching this, shout out to Kiamu. Thank you for chiming in. Janie Miller is in the house. Nisi is in the house. I see y'all chiming in. We got our newest two-star director, Maurice Covington, is in the house.
Mhm.
Dr. Melvin Roscoe is in the house. So we got a great audience coming.
Wow.
Guys, pay attention because I'm about to drop some nuggets that are going to really be something that maybe you're aware, maybe you aren't, but it's going to change your life if you aren't. And if you already know, then you just need to be sharing it with multiple people. In fact, share this right away. So, Ms. Margaret, tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little bit.
Don't be
Oh,
stingy now.
well, well, again, I taught school for 37 years, which I'm very honored, and I love my
Yeah.
teaching. Um, I taught 17 years between the in the Bronx and in Brooklyn, and then I moved upstate and taught the rest of my 20 years, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how I met Gloria.
Yeah.
Um, we worked in a school system where it was not many of us, so we gravitated to each other,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of times when we needed to talk to each other, we were there for each other.
Wow.
Yes.
And every time, I would Gloria know that I would get up and go if I can. If
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could, I did a lot of traveling. I come back and show pictures to her and
Yeah.
something like that, and she said, well, when I retire, I'm going to travel. So
Yes.
Mhm,
she always has said that.
mhm.
Um, I got in this company because of Gloria, because she told me about her Jamaica trip before she joined the
Mm-hmm.
organization. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying to myself, I want to go, but but she was invited by someone. They didn't invite me.
All right.
But
Okay.
when she came back and she told me about it and that she joined,
Mhm.
and I think I said, okay, I'm gonna join, but wait till I get paid.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Uh-huh. It ain't right corner. Hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Because being retired, even though
Yes.
working for the state of New York, you get a pretty decent pension check, but you got
Right.
bills
That's right.
and
That's right.
traveling, and I used a lot of credit cards to
Yes.
travel, and I'm
Yes.
paying for it now. So
Yes.
this is a mean for me to try to chop down those bills, but yet I can
Absolutely.
still travel.
Absolutely. That's a good segue to what we need to talk about.
Mm.
All are professional women that have made an impact, and God knows, I'm sure thousands, probably tens of thousands of lives in your community. So thank you for your service. Thank you for your labors of love,
Yeah.
seen and unseen. My wife recently retired in June of last year, and hers was at 30 years of service. And everywhere I go in the community, I'm always bombarded by, hey, Miss Kid, they talking to her and holding me up because I'm trying to go somewhere. But all the students from way back when, now they have their kids, so I'm sure that y'all run into that same thing. But
Yeah.
it's a great experience. But here's what I want to say: you mentioned that even in your retirement, you can't just do anything and everything. You got to operate within, how, no matter how great the retirement and the pension is, you got to operate within that. They say, I'm on a fixed income, that type of
Yes.
thing.
Mhm.
And the lifestyle that most professionals live, use of credit card and all that. Thank you for bringing that up because we're going to talk about all that. All of that debt that's brought forward. And even when we're paying for vacations and stuff, the urgency of this, if y'all are watching, please get this message. Hey, LaPonda, good to see you, baby girl. Thank you so much, woman of God, for joining us. We got Kevin is in the house. He's watching. Guys, here's the point I got to say. I'm going to share some things with you tonight that a lot of people do not think deeply enough on.
Mm.
First, let me just do it this way. I'm going to talk about the common obstacles we need to overcome. Mama used to have this expression. It never worked out real good when she said it. She said, I'm going to show you better than I could tell you.
Mm. Yeah.
So
I
let
love
me,
that saying.
yeah. So
Sounds
let me
familiar.
show, y'all what I'm talking about from where you are as professional women now retired. And this message is applicable for all, whether you're in retirement years, whether you're about to cross that bridge, or maybe you're just now starting your career, or maybe you don't even have a job. I'm going to show you real deal Holyfield. This is your winning season, but you need some supporting strategies that's going to bring strength to that winning season. And you have to be mindful of things like this because it affects us all. So let me go to the video here and y'all stay right there. We'll be right back.
Every time I go buy groceries, it seems like everything is so much more expensive. So I dug up an old grocery pickup receipt from this time last year, and I went to that same grocery store to see how much that same list of groceries would cost me today. If you're worried about the accuracy of this test, let me put your mind at ease real quick. I took economics in college. I should first say, this is very unlike me. I never used to look at grocery prices. I would just buy whatever I wanted, but all my money's going away so fast. I need to figure out why I feel so poor, even while making a pretty decent income as a designer. So I'm not quite to the old grandma collecting coupons, but I'm getting close. Starting with the item that saw the biggest jump in price, you guessed it, eggs. Last year, 18 eggs cost us $1.59, and today it's $4.89. That's a 207.55% price increase. This is, of course, not because of inflation, but the avian flu recently caused an egg shortage, so the price went up. But still, 207% increase is a lot. But at the same time, I mean, $4.89 for like 4 meals is pretty cheap. Okay, moving on. I was surprised that a lot of stuff actually stayed the same price, like the exact same price, and one item even dropped in price, like by a lot. Oat milk. What's going on? No one like oat milk anymore? Hey, I'm not complaining. More oat milk for me and my protein shakes. For all you oat milk haters out there, no, okay? Almond milk is gross. Regular milk gives me the toots, so here we are. Speaking of dairy, they're saying the biggest price increases are in dairy and meat. These cheese slices went up by 24.5%. A half gallon of chocolate milk went up by 42.33%. And a 32-ounce bag of Mexican-style shredded cheese went up by 14.31%. It's crazy how much prices have gone up in a single year. Well, later in this video, we're gonna look at a receipt that I found from before COVID and compare it to today's prices, and it's way worse. It's way worse. In the meat aisle, 1 pound of ground beef went up 37%, from $5.09 to $6.99. Ground turkey went from $4.49 to $5.99, a 33% price increase. Bread saw a pretty big jump in price with a 27% increase. Quaker oats are 33% more expensive, but the most heartbreaking one for me, at a 51% jump in price from last year, is GT's kombucha. They used to be $2.50. Maybe GT Dave actually was the villain all along. So I was trying to figure out how to see the prices from before COVID. Then I realized we used to do a lot of grocery pickup at Walmart. So I searched my wife's email and boom, a receipt from March 2020. Man, March 2020. What a strange time. So we headed to Walmart to hopefully discover why we feel so poor now. Starting with the biggest price increase. Yeah, you guessed it. This thing used to cost $3, $10 now. That's a 231% price increase. The next biggest jump at a 63% increase is this bag of frozen chicken breasts. It's a 3-pound bag. It went from $5.94 to $9.74. That's wild. Quaker oats went up 54%. This 10-pound bag of potatoes went from $3.49 to $5.97. That's a 51.52% increase. Milk went up 47%. This peanut butter is 43% more. Honey is up 42%. Rice is up 32%. And all of these items also saw a pretty big jump in price since 2020. While we were doing our shopping, we came across the Mr. Beast Feastables display, and it looked terrible. Complete mess. So it took a second to clean it all up. I got your back, Mr. Beast. No worries. So the total back in March of 2020 for this basket of goods, yes, I'm an economist, basket of goods, was $117.01. And today, the same basket of goods would cost you $151.99. That's an increase of a whopping 29.89%. That's a solid chunk of change. If money's feeling tight for you right now, you might enjoy this video where I break down my monthly spending. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.
All right, ladies. The reason I wanted to share that, because I want to talk to you about the relevance very briefly before we go to the next element, because we're talking about supporting strategies for your winning season. But we got to be real. Sometimes people are just too much pie in the sky. I want to talk about some real issues. While you were in your career years, you had dreams, and you still have dreams.
Yeah.
And traveling is not cheap. It costs money. But a lot of people, they either delete their dream or they dilute their dream because of the cost factors of everything. And we ain't even got anywhere yet. Just the cost of living. Food, something that's kind of essential, that's kind of necessary. How real is that for someone to consider? Because when we talk about this travel club, it does two things for us. Number one, it reduces substantial costs of travel, among other things. I mean, it can literally bring it down to taking away as much as 80% of what everybody else is paying. The other thing it can do is it can bring in a lot of additional revenue if you treat it as an opportunity that it was designed to do. So let's talk real quick about the cost factors, pricing of everything that's going up. What would you tell someone who's in their career and they're like, oh my God, I want to travel, I want to do all these things, but it costs so much. And then when you get to retirement years, when you think, well, I'll just wait till I retire. Well, guess what? Now you got a reduced income and the prices are still going up. So can you give some wisdom, shed some light on that for us?
Well, I would say to them that no one should have to wait on their dreams. You have to find a means to fulfill them. And I know with Travorium, it gives you that opportunity to do that. There's nowhere in the world that you can go and you can invest $125 a month and that turns to $250. You can't even go to the bank for that. You
Right.
know, there's going to be a lot of costs and a lot of things, and people need to prioritize. And I think traveling should be a priority in everybody's world because it educates you.
Yeah.
It closes the gap on a lot of things. And I think in terms of understanding people and their
Mhm.
cultures, and if
Mhm.
you are exposed to that, it makes you more empathetic and sympathetic to
Yeah.
all of what is going on in this world.
Yes.
So I would suggest that if you have the means to join, do that,
Mhm.
because that initial investment, but you can get past that, and every month you're investing at 125, that's turned into 250, the next month is 500, and it
Mhm.
goes on. You
Right.
I mean, it's kind of difficult to save that amount of money, especially if you have a family, even if
Mhm.
when you're single,
Mhm.
because you have electricity, you have water, you have gas, you
Mhm.
have food, you have car payment, you
Mhm.
have rental space, you have storage space, you have mortgage, you have rent, you have
Mm.
food. I mean, the list goes on, and those
Right.
prices are going up
Oh,
every month. Seem like it,
yes. Yes.
so you have to find a means to fulfill your dreams in every uh, aspect of your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so
Mm.
much. Miss Gloria, what provokes you in this in terms of seeing the price of just eating? Just have some food on the table. The price keeps going up and people's
Oh yeah,
income are not doing the same thing.
exactly. Um, and that is the great thing about Trevorium is that, you know, I um I just make it as a bill, but it's also actually an investment, and it's
Mhm.
an investment in myself.
Mhm.
Um, as I said, when I did my manifest list, the top of that list was travel. I
Mhm.
wanted to travel, but I didn't know exactly how I was going to be able to accomplish that goal.
Mhm.
And through Trevorium, I'm able to do that um, at a very affordable price.
Absolutely.
And Trevorium, I checked with another travel club,
Mhm.
and I would say Trevorium is the best place to be. Um, it really is.
Mhm.
Um, I went to a presentation before I joined
Mhm.
Trevorium,
Mhm.
and the travel club that did was doing this presentation wanted thousands down before you could even
Mhm.
become a member of it.
Yep.
And you know, they weren't offering anything
Mhm.
more than Trevorium was
Right.
offering. As a matter of fact, even though they wanted you to pay thousands more to be a member of their
Mhm.
club, you still had initial um, fees that ran in in the thousands to
Yep.
join them.
I'm
So
very aware.
yeah,
Yes.
and I said, this is outrageous.
Mhm.
And just retiring. Well,
Mhm.
I didn't have, thousands to,
Mhm.
join a travel club to travel, but yet my heart's desire was and is to travel. How
Yeah.
was I going to do it? So
Yep.
I really thank God for Kevin Watkins. I thank
Yeah.
God for you, Pastor Mel. Um, for just being there and showing
Mhm.
people how they can make their dreams come true
That's right.
in an affordable, practical way. Uh,
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Yes. Thank you so much for being willing to listen to it and take the offer as what it is. We have
Yeah.
Minister Carol coming in with us at the same time. Minister Carol, I want you to meet two beautiful women of God. Miss Margaret's at the top, and Miss
Hi.
Gloria is at the bottom there. And they're on the East Coast. You'll be traveling with them, I'm sure, real soon. So we're going to go further into the conversation for the benefit of those. Hey, Mr. Lotta chiming in. Mary Brown, all the way in Mississippi, is chiming in. Man of God, Solis Joan is chiming in. Thank y'all for chiming in. Where we're going to go now is in another area because there's some obstacles. This is winning season, y'all, but you got to have supporting strategies because there's some fences that we're going to need to get across. There's some factors that have to be considered, and you got to plan that into the equation. Some of us have, again, either diluted our dreams, and some have even deleted their dreams because it's been so unreal to do what they always thought they wanted to do, and then they wait till retirement, and then they say, oh my God, if I couldn't do it when I was working, what in the world am I going to do this now? But this club, guys, I'm trying to tell you not what I heard. I'm trying to tell you what I know. Please listen. This club was especially designed to cut your cost in all the areas, but especially in travel. You can travel the world for pennies on a dollar. We've seen programs. I've been a part of programs where I paid tens of thousands of dollars and didn't get 10% of the benefits that I have in this particular club here. My wife and I, as many of you may know, we've been travel agents for 12 years. This supersedes any benefits we've even ever received as travel agents. And we have travel agents in this club here with over 40 years of experience. And if they were on the screen right now, they would tell you the exact same thing. So I'm going to go to this next video. And Ms. Carol, I'm going to bring you in the conversation right after that. But I want you ladies to take a good look at this, and to all of those who are watching live or replay, hey, Yvonne, it's good to see you, darling. Take a look at this, and let's come back and talk about it.
Well, the robots have arrived, at least in Pasadena, California. That's where the world's first ever fully autonomous AI-powered restaurant has opened, complete with burger flipping bots. We sent CBS's Joy Benedict on a taste test.
Flippy the chef makes Spud spectacular. This automated grill gives the meat its sizzle as this restaurant goes robotic.
For this burger, it would take about 120 seconds.
Cali Express by Flippy is the world's first AI-powered eatery. There's new technology outside the kitchen, too.
A cheeseburger.
Order kiosks use facial recognition to remember you, your favorite food, and how you like to pay. Then watch the robots work. No humans required.
We can't get enough people to come out to work on fryers and grills and their dangerous jobs. And this automation helps solve a lot of those issues.
62% of restaurants report being understaffed. Industry experts say most of those unfilled jobs could be done by robots. And in California, where the minimum wage for most fast food workers will soon be $20 an hour, fewer workers equals cost savings. Dan Ives is with Wedbush Securities, a wealth management firm.
Once the minimum wage went to 20, that's the bell going off. More and more focus on spending on AI. Because look, that's inflationary. That's the problem. You can't necessarily pass all that to the consumer.
Flippy can cook 250 pounds of French fries an hour. The burger bot, 100 patties.
These restaurants are very, very busy at peak times, and every second that gets added to somebody waiting in the drive-thru is a lost revenue opportunity for that restaurant.
Is it costing people their jobs?
That's not what we've seen. It's really here to help people.
Humans at Cali Express will put the finishing touches on orders. For customers, the price of the meals are competitive. As for taste,
Is it going to affect the quality and the taste?
I would say yes, in a good way, because now each burger is being cooked precisely the same way every time.
time will tell whether AI takes over kitchens everywhere. That will be up to the public to chew on. Joy Benedict, CBS News, Pasadena, California.
Can you believe that?
Wow.
Miss Margaret, I saw on your page today, it blew my mind. I reshared it. There was a home a whole house being shipped from Amazon and delivered into someone's front yard. And they tore open the box, opened it up, and then, pulled down a few levers, a few panels, and voila, a home and I think they said it was 15 grand, something like that. Artificial intelligence, technology, and all the sophistication of all this engineering and things that they've put together today, guys, is changing the landscape of life as we have known it, and it will never go back in the box the way it was. I want to talk to you all about what impact do you see this having on a lot of people coming out of high school looking for jobs, and they didn't prepare for certain things, and maybe some people are in the middle of their career, and if they don't have something, I'll say it this way, that they can own, if they don't have something that creates what we call residual income. In fact, there's a quote going across the screen by Mr. Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest persons on the planet. He said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Talk to us about the preparation you believe, or lack thereof, of people coming into the workforce now. They're coming out of high school, they're coming out of college. There was a time when, you get out of the military, you get one job, you work it 30, 40 years, live happily ever after with your pension, your retirement, yada, yada. Things are changing. Talk to us about that. I will start with Minister Carol. What say you?
In here.
Here.
You're muted.
I say that, where we used to say you better have yourself a A and a B plan. If you ain't got your C, D, E, F, G plan, then you just may come up slacking and lacking. Because we go to school all these years and prepare for everything, and then it's just like this. We can be replaced, as we saw. I'm looking at that, and I'm like, facial recognition. I'm like, oh my goodness! And the and then humans ain't even fixing my burger. What kind of stuff is this? But if you don't have somewhere, something else in mind, you can be replaced. At any given moment. And it just asks someone, you think that you're invaluable to a job, and as soon as something happens to you, before you get out the door, they interviewing someone else. So it's so important to have your own. Have your own, and we're dependent on everybody else when God has equipped us with everything that we need inside of us. You look at you look how he just told the disciples to give up everything and follow me.
Right.
Because he had put something inside of them, the carpenters and those people that went along with him. They gave up those professions and they followed God because he had placed everything that they needed. And it's the same with us today.
Yes.
And until we tap into those abilities that God has already put into us and stop depending on the Tom, Dick, and Harrys, because Tom, Dick, and Harry gonna replace you with Jane, Joe, and Robot. As soon as the opportunity comes up, and we need to realize that we are not invaluable to the company. But we are invaluable to us. We got everything that we need. And that's how I see that.
That's so good. So good. We got King coming in. He said he equipped us with all the tools. Miss Gloria, what say you? What does that video bring to your mind? What's your conviction?
It's a little scary, for the upcoming generation, young people, who maybe they just gotten out of high school or even college. I mean, I know people who have gotten degrees in this and that, and they cannot find a job in their field. And some of them are being replaced by AI. Okay. I agree with Sister Carol that the word tells us that God has given us all gifts and abilities, and also he has given us the power to get wealth. And so we just need to look to the Lord and find out what our gifts and abilities are and have a strategy to get well, we don't need to depend on the government. We don't need to depend on, outside influences. We just need to look to him for the power to get
Yeah.
wealth.
I
Yeah,
love
and we
it.
have it. Each and every
have
one of us have it.
We have
Your gifts and abilities may not be my gifts and abilities, but you have them.
right.
Some people can cook well. They can make the best pies or the best, dishes, and that's their gift and ability. That's, I learned, I know what my gifts and abilities are. And I tried to step over one time into my hairdresser's gifts and abilities, and I found out that's not my gift. That's not my gift and
It
ability.
didn't look the same. Huh?
I need the hairdresser.
Okay. All right.
Because that's not where my gifts and abilities lie.
Wow.
But God has given me, and He's given each of us gifts and abilities, so that we can prosper and we can be a blessing to others, and we can get wealth.
That is so good. So good. Thank you for bringing that out. Ms. Margaret, what say you? What does that stimulate in your mind when you saw that?
When I reposted and then you reposted, it's just like, wow. I've been looking at it twofold. First of all, kudos to those engineer students, those science students, that high level skill students, great. But what about those people who are not at that level? And they're going to be put out on the sidelines because they don't have that capacity to grasp that and to be in that workforce. So they're going to be out monetarily, and there'll be other people, more people that we as government, as the system, have to support because they just don't have the ability to keep up.
Right.
And I think that the Trevorium has a plan where you can be the brightest star, or that star that hasn't quite found its light yet, that can make the money, and they can inherit to their families and their children and to their children. And I think about Coach Steve when I first heard of her story not so long ago, where her husband is no longer with us, but his business is still continuing, and she's their grandchildren are inheriting that. So he's making money, and he's no longer on this side of the mountain, so to speak. And we as people, we need to get back and start thinking about generational wealth. And this is a company where you don't have to purchase merchandise, where you don't have to find a place to sell it, where you don't have to hire people to sell the product. You don't have to go do home demonstrations.
Come on.
You don't have to, do all those things. All you have to do is open your mouth, talk about something that you love to do, and more than likely somebody is going to grasp on to that concept, and they know somebody that feels the same way about traveling. So this is a 100 proof company that will provide you with that dream of traveling and that financial ability if you go for it. All you have to do is open your mouth. That's all you have to do, because you can just get a presentation, get one of those five chat, and show it.
That's it.
That's
you
it.
don't. Yeah, you don't even have to do the presentation.
Oh, no, you don't. And all you have to do is say it when you assign.
I hope y'all are hearing this. Yes. To our audience, I hope you guys are hearing this. We're talking about some problems that need to be overcome. And I'm going to run out of time, so I want to go to this next one. But they have so eloquently spilled all the wisdom out. The nuggets are right before us. It's a question of What are you going to do about it? Here are some
Yeah.
supporting strategies for your winning season. You came into this year claiming some of the greatness, and it belongs to you. It's your birthright. It's what God your Father wants you to have in Christ. But if you don't have a supporting strategy, you're going to have to do something about those high costs of goods and living. You're going to have to do something about it, because the fact of the matter is those prices are increasing for everybody. But when you're making a whole lot more money and it's residual, guys, it doesn't matter what the price of eggs are. You're going to be good. You're not going to have a problem with eggs or anything else. And guys, then I showed you this technology, the changes all around the world. It's in the airport. They're doing it at Walmart. I mean, they have less people. I don't know if y'all have that on the East Coast. It used to be every counter had a person. Now they only got 2 or 3 lines open. And the line backed out the door because they're using so many of those, what you call self checkout. Yeah, self checkout.
Yeah.
But there's a word out that Walmart is getting ready to disband the self-check because of theft.
Oh, okay. Well, that was somebody's strategy for the high price of goods. So here's what I want to do, ladies. I'm going to share this last. I wish I had more time, but I don't. But I'm going to share this last one. And ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, please take accurate notes on this, because it'll change your whole life. When you are part of this travel club, you have so many advantages. Before you even begin making money, which won't take long, you're saving money already just by way of your taxes. Take a quick look at this.
Okay, some say money talks, but I say money walks away from you quietly and you don't know where it went. It would be nice if a dollar said, I'm about to roll bounce up out of here, and when you come find me, I won't be there. It would be nice if it did talk, but it doesn't. So since money doesn't talk, we've got to figure out how to make it walk right back to us. That's right, walk back. You must learn how to get your money back. If payday is coming up and your money is funny and your change is strange and it's not coming quick enough and you're always worried about money and you don't have enough and so on and so forth, understand, I have been there and I have done that, and you must learn how to get your money back. What do I mean by that? Well, imagine if you went to the grocery store and you bought $200 worth of groceries, and the grocery store manager called you 2 weeks later after you ate all your food and said, come back and get your money. You would stop, drop, and roll. You wouldn't even watch the rest of this video. I know I wouldn't. I'd be gone right now, okay? Well, guess what? That's what the IRS says. The IRS says if you start a home-based business and you learn how to run your business like a business with the intent of making a profit, then you can get some of your money back that you were already going to spend anyway. That cell phone, when you use it for personal reasons, you don't get your money back. When you use it for business, you do. Those kids, my grandmother had 17 kids, and not 17 kids. She had 17 brothers and sisters, but they were like her kids. And she had to feed them. I have 3 kids. I'm going to tell you something. Feeding children is expensive. And if I had 17 kids, everybody wouldn't eat every day. I'd have a Monday, Wednesday group and a Tuesday, Thursday group. And on your day off, you'd have to fast, pray, or steal. But what I'm saying is this. You're going to spend money on your kids anyway. But the IRS says if you hire your kids to work in your home-based business, you can pay each child now up to $12,500. That $12,500 per child is a tax write-off to you. The money is tax-free to them. So you get the money back. It's tax-free to them. And now they can go and buy the things that you were going to spend money on anyway. See, when you spend money on daycare, you don't get your money back. When you spend money on school clothes, you don't get your money back. When you spend money on the video game or piano lessons or whatever it is, you don't get your money back. But if you hire your kids and pay them a salary, you get that money back, and they can go buy all those things anyway. If you take a vacation, you don't get that money back. But if it's a business trip, then you do get your money back. When you go out to eat, how many people are going out to eat? Everybody's going out to eat. Because we were so tired of being locked up that we just going out even if we don't like the food. Well, guess what? When you eat for personal reasons, you don't get your money back. But if you eat for business reasons, you do. So getting your money straight and learning how to get your money right is hard work, but so is being broke. You could run a Fortune 100 company with all the energy that it takes robbing Peter to pay Paul. So do the work. Learn how to get your money back at AskGlenn.org.
All right, we're going to wrap this thing up. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got the memo. I tried to give you some nuggets, some supporting strategies. We have so much more to share, but we're out of time. We have a Faith Leaders call that's going to be starting in just a few moments, and I need to be on that call. But I want to hear from these women of virtue concerning the tax strategies. Let me just summarize it. Just having a membership in this travel club takes expenses that you're going to spend anyway and puts them in the category of being tax deductible. And they're seen by the IRS as tax deductible because they're now business expenses. Money that you were already going to spend anyway, but it can be on both sides, from the personal to the business, because you're now officially operating it for the benefit of your business in the pursuit of profit. And the IRS, the government, says it's legal for that to be tax deductible. That's life-changing, because a lot of people are paying way too much in taxes, and they don't even know that just having this travel club or any really home-based business that's legitimate can change their whole game on that. I'd like to hear your feedback on that.
I think it's great. If I'm correct, that was Lynn Richardson.
That is her.
Oh, yes. I have listened to her in the past, and I have listened to her talk about having a home-based business. As a matter of fact, that was on my manifest list, and I'm able to do so through Trevorium. So I thank God for this opportunity, really, that He has, placed in my life. But as Ms. Richardson said, things that you're already going to do anyway, or things that you're already going to spend, have expenses that you're going to have. If you put them under the category of a home-based business, you can get money back for what you've already were going to do. So I think that's great.
Absolutely. Somebody put that in the chat. Hashtag get your money back. All right.
Get your money back.
Who would like to go? I would like to hear from both of you. Close us out.
Well, I think it's awesome because that's something that we do daily when we go out and speak to someone in the restaurant. We can write it off as a business expense. If we're making phone calls, you have a cell phone, you can write it off as a business expense. So that money you can put back in your pocket and you can use it for travel.
Come on.
Hey.
Love it.
Yes.
That's so powerful. That's so powerful. Minister Carol?
She made me think about recycling, and we recycle everybody else's stuff. We recycle, we recycle, and we build up everybody's brand and everybody's name. But what about building up your own? Yeah. What about being like Nike or Reebok or any of the others, the DuPonts, the Rockefellers? What about the Cal Brown? Why not put it back in my own house instead of just taking it out there and making everybody else's name great? Why not make your name great? I think about if I knew back then what I knew now. Think about my own mama with them 13 children. What if she had the wisdom and the knowledge? And we was just talking about it yesterday, how me and my brother rode a different bus so we could get home and get the leftovers because we knew it wasn't going to be nothing. But why not? The thing that you're saving up for a rainy day, it's raining today. So why not put that right back there in your house? You say you do it for everybody else.
That's good.
Why not take the lead and do it for yourself? Build up your house. Build up your name.
Man, y'all are so wise. I'd like to give a closing comment for each one of you, and we're going to jump from here and go to our Faith Leaders call that's already begun. For the benefit of our listening audience, if you'd like to join us on that Faith Leaders call, just inbox me. We'll get you the information. I'm also going to share it on my Facebook wall once we get logged into the Zoom room. So who would like to give us their closing goodbye? And I'm going to miss y'all.
Well, I'll start. For those people listening and not members yet, I strongly urge you to consider and invest in yourself. This is an opportunity where you can um, enjoy life to its fullest, and also you can be financially, um, I wouldn't say free, but you'll be able to have more in your pocket, so to speak, and you have more to share with your loved ones, and you have more to do with the things that you want to do. So Trevorian is a avenue for you to take advantage of, and I encourage everyone to join. And I told Gloria and everyone that when someone asked me how I'm doing, I said, wonderful. I just joined this travel club, and that could be your opening.
Hey, I love it. Thank you so much.
Wow.
I like that. I like that. I'll say, what you waiting for? If not now, when? Do it for no other reason than because I was going to do it anyway. And do it for myself. And
That's
don't
it.
take my word for it. Remember how you said, try it, you like it. Try it. And if you don't like it, you can always give it up.
That's
but
right.
What if you try it and you do? What if it's and I'm not saying because everything don't fit everybody.
That's
but
right.
you never know if it really fit unless you try it on.
That's good.
So,
and I like to just throw one thing, because you don't assume that somebody's not going to listen to you, and don't judge your book by its cover.
Yes.
But again, those people that you think won't, and those people that you think will. So talk to everybody.
There you
never
go.
know.
You don't know. That's good. All right. Last but not least.
Oh my. I'm going to say, once 2024 started, the theme was more in 2024. Well, this is one way that you can have more, do more, and be more by signing up and being part of the Trevorium.
Absolutely. God bless you real good, ladies. I love each of you. To our listening audience, share this replay with somebody and let them know that it's their winning season, but they need some supporting strategies. We're off to our next assignment, and that's the Faith Leaders Call. Hope to see y'all there. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.